else is here? You. Hey, man.
Yo.
What is up, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Got Dynamite on. Man, it's been pretty good so far. Pretty good. With the first hour in, so enjoying myself quite indeedly.
Yeah, it's a it's a pretty solid show. Yeah, they're in Seattle, right?
Yeah, the crowd's hot as shit in Seattle tonight.
Oh, they're loving everything. Like they're reacting for the matches, everything, and it's making for an interesting show. And they got a new set, which is good. The set looks very nice. It doesn't look like the old TNA double entrance thing. So good for them. So
with that too as well, like that. I don't know if this is your first time in Seattle or second time, but this just show to me kind of like I should be going to Seattle more.
Yeah, like the Midwest. Midwest really loves their wrestling. Like, Seattle, Portland, Chicago. What is it?
Wait, you said the Midwest?
Or Northwest, I'm sorry. Northwest.
Okay, I was like, you're confusing me.
Yeah, Northwest. Let me reiterate that. The Northwest really loves their wrestling, and that includes Seattle, Portland. Is Montana Northwest?
Yeah, you can consider it Northwest, yeah.
Denver.
It'll be considered Northwest, for sure, yeah.
Denver, places like those, so...
Yeah.
Usually it's like the cities that don't really get too much, that they're a lot more appreciative than, most cities.
Yeah.
So... the opposite of Corpus Christi.
Yeah, look, Corpus Christi's fucking the drizzling shits.
So, and we're from Texas. We can make that. Insult. But first show of the year.
It is rubbish.
It's rubbish. It's pure rubbish. But first show of the year. Let's do the damn thing. Let's do the intro in 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what is going on? It is the first show of the year. First show of the year, 2023, and we are back. And what's up, Maurice? And you guys already know who I am. I'm Drew, and joining me is my podcasting partner in crime.
Dustin from Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com.
So how was your New Year's? What'd you do?
It was good, man. I didn't really do much of anything, but New Year's Eve, just chill, get, had some drinks, things of that nature. Then New Year's Day, I went downtown. Yeah, so it was very nice downtown. There was a lot of people out. Weather was nice. It was very festive outside. So, so definitely enjoyed myself on New Year's Day. And not to mention there was NFL football too as well, that I watched. So very good.
Nice, good stuff. Yeah, we just kind of kept it simple. We went to Betty's brother's dad's ranch, out in Lytle, and it was pretty chill. I mean, she was sick, but she was determined. Fuck it, we're going. Because last year she got sick, and we just stayed at home. This year she was like, fuck it, we're going. So. We stayed until about 1-ish, which, for us that's kind of early because usually in past New Year's we'll usually stay until 4 or 5 in the morning. Yeah, well, I mean, they party hard. I crash out around 2 or 1.
There you go.
But I had one drink, but I was just nursing it and I didn't even finish it.
Right.
Yeah, my alcohol tolerance is not as high as it used to be.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, I mean, I can probably finish a beer, barely, but liquor, whiskey, I can't really deal with that anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I took a couple of shots of tequila, and it almost killed me.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, tequila. Yeah, I got me and tequila are not friends.
my balls went, my balls went straight up my ass because that's how strong the tequila was. Oh God!
That it literally tastes like fucking. You're drinking gasoline. Like that's how.
Yeah, man.
The last time I had a shot of tequila, I was dry heaving. That's how bad it was.
Man.
That and vodka. I can't drink vodka anymore. Like vodka is again not my friend like tequila.
Yeah.
Let's just say I drank apple vodka on one occasion, and my friend, who's a much better drinker than I am, was able to drink it the correct way. And by correct way, I mean he didn't decide to fucking, chug it down like I was. He was nursing it the way you should be. I was, and I was fucking hammered as soon as I got home. So, yeah, that was the last and only time I'm gonna drink vodka. But
yeah, it's not for everybody. It's
definitely not for everybody. I'll have Jack Daniels if it's there. I'll have Wild Turkey if it's there, but I don't go out. Back in my younger days, I was able to drink alcohol like it was water. Nowadays, I'll have one sip. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like Eddie, I don't think anybody should be drinking vodka straight. I mean, you just heard my story. I drink vodka straight.
Unless you're Russian,
or I'm married. I'm gonna be married to a Mexican woman, so she can handle her liquor more than I can, or better than I can.
There you go.
So she's a G. I am not a G. So, but we got a lot of news. We got an awful lot of news, and some news, and some news that we usually wouldn't talk about on here. But I just decided, fuck it. First show of the year, let's just make it interesting. So, I guess the big story of the day is Wrestle Kingdom. Sasha Banks is now Mercedes Moné. She made her debut in NJPW against Kairi Sane for the IWGP Women's Championship and won.
Well, she didn't actually wrestle. So Kairi wrestled Tam Nakano. She defeated Tam Nakano.
Ah, okay.
And I don't know why everyone on Twitter was like, Mercedes, she's gonna be wrestling. She's not wrestling. She's making her debut appearance. But anyway, near here nor there. So she just came out after the match and made her appearance and cut a promo, and that was it. And attacked Kairi.
Okay, so I apologize on my part that I didn't probably do the research. I saw this at like 8 a.m. when I was getting ready for work, and I just saw it like, oh, she's in NJPW. I guess she won because she's holding a title. So, but as confirmed, she didn't actually wrestle. She just came out and made an appearance. So, is there any word on what her contract situation is?
Currently, right now, she is going to be with Stardom. She is going to be wrestling Kairi. I believe it's in February. I don't have the exact date, but it's in San Jose, California. And I'm assuming that that's Mercedes. I get used to just calling her Mercedes now. Mercedes should be winning that title. I see a lot of things for her. One, that she's going to sign with AEW. And I mentioned this a few weeks ago. If you guys remember, I mentioned, if Soraya's going to have his tag team partner, they're advertising his match 3, 4, 5 weeks out, however long that they advertise his match out. If they bring back Thunder Rosa, or if they have Toni Storm be the tag partner, it is not a big deal for that time frame. Plus, it's in Los Angeles. I'm still under the impression that Mercedes is going to make her AEW debut next week.
Well, that kind of... Go ahead.
Mm-hmm,
I'm sorry. I was going to say that segues into a segment earlier in AEW where Britt Baker referred to herself as the boss.
There you go.
So that kind of all
windows are right there.
That kind of all but confirms next week that Mercedes, got to get used to calling her that, will be Soraya's mystery partner. So
Now, also as well, now I don't know if she's going to be fully signed to AEW or because if she's going to be in Stardom, I think Japan is our number one priority. Right. I honestly think that. I think that she may just do like a per appearance deal.
Right.
I also see her being in a one-on-one match at the next Forbidden Door. So she's going to come in as IWGP Women's Champion versus whoever's going to be the AEW Women's Champion at that time. It could be Britt Baker. It could be whoever, right? Whoever they decide to put the title on. But that's about 5-6 months from now before we decide that. So yeah, we just have to wait and see.
Man, this promo with MJF and Bryan has been going on for a while. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch this because I have it low here. So from what I'm seeing on Twitter, people are really loving this promo right now. So I got to go back and watch it.
Yeah, like it literally started right when the show started. So
yeah. So,
I'm gonna listen to it too because I love Bryan. I like MJF. So it should be a good promo. Eddie's saying you're not missing much. We'll see. But other news coming out of Wrestle Kingdom: Kenny Omega defeated who was it? Will Ospreay for the IWGP US Championship. Okada. Did Okada win the title or did he retain the title?
He won the title from Jay White. Jay White was champion for it seemed like it was a year. Because let me look it up real quick because he was champion for a long ass fucking time. I think it was a year because I think he won it last year, I think he won it at when did he win it? At what's the Osaka show? I can't think. Dominion. I think he won at Dominion. So Jay White. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot they unified the titles here. So let's see here. Yeah, because they have the new IWGP World Heavyweight Championship now, so it's different now. So Jay White, yeah, he won at Dominion, so that was in June. It seemed like he had the title forever, though. Jesus Christ. So he had like a 7-month title reign, and Okada won today.
All right, good. That's Wrestle Kingdom 17. Let's see.
Well, yeah, and also as well, just to cover on the show here, Carl Anderson lost the Never Openweight title to Tama Tonga. Right. So we don't know if we're pretty sure that Carl Anderson's done. It looks like they have that closure there with that. And also as well to note, and not a lot of people are talking about this, but this is important. FTR lost the IWGP Tag Team titles. They lost the Ring of Honor titles, the AAA titles, and the IWGP titles in a span of a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that they may take some time off, but we know the rumors of them maybe coming to WWE. Possibly this could be an indication for that. We don't know, but I think that's kind of being swept under the rug today because of the Mercedes debuting and the incredible. And I saw the match today between Kenny and Will Ospreay. That was an incredible wrestling match that I saw. That's the only match I did see on Wrestle Kingdom, and saw Mercedes debut. But regardless, though, I think that FTR title loss is going to be kind of swept under the rug because of what happened today with the others.
Yeah, FTR is coming back. I mean, there's really no way around it. Dax, he started his podcast, and in the first topic of conversation was Punk, and we kind of briefly talked about it, I believe, on last week's show, where I brought up, how apparently, Jericho is trying to keep, CM Punk from signing back or coming back or whatever, and people aren't too happy about Dax's comments about him wanting Punk back, and Punk, should work things out with everybody. Or, correction, he thinks everybody, all 3 men, or all 4 men actually, should work something out. And then quickly, Dax changes his tune to, "I think the Young Bucks are in the Mount Rushmore of tag teams." It's like, that's what I thought. So I mean,
how did he say that in context? Did he say like overall, like of all time, or like today, or do you know what the context was for it?
I briefly saw it, so let me pull it up real quick.
Okay. If it's all time, then no. I don't think they're up there as far as best tag teams of all time. Influential, debatably.
Here we go. So Dax Harwood on his podcast said, "If I were going to put together a Mount Rushmore of tag teams, I would put the Young Bucks on there. I would have them right up there because they have defined a generation of tag team wrestling. They also completely changed the style of tag team wrestling. Well, it's not a good thing. All the differences that we may have had in the past from 2016 to 2022, I can't take away the fact that they should be on a Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling."
I mean, that's debatable. I mean, yeah, they have been very influential, but for me personally, I wouldn't have them on my Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling teams of all time. Over the past 10 years, yeah, I'll have them there over the past 10 years, but not of all time, because you got like the Road Warriors, Edge and Christian, Dudleys, the Hardys, obviously, right? Like, those four right there, I mean, New Age Outlaws, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I don't 100% agree with that, but it's subjective, so,
Going back to IWGP, so Will Ospreay had quite a few things to say about WWE, positive things. He said on a potential crossover matches, "I mean, I never know how far the door is open because I'm normally just focused on myself, family, and whatever is in front of me at the moment. But like, if the door is open, then let them all come in. I mean, obviously, if the WWE door is open, it's always fascinating. It's kind of like bring all your guys, see if any of them match up to my ability. I'm always up for that. And same goes to AEW, same goes to Noah, same goes to All Japan. If the door's open, let them come in." And then he mentioned how he would like to have a crossover match with Seth Rollins. That's kind of a dream match for him. And he also had comments about Triple H, where he said, "I'm shocked at how," when talking about the new product, he says, "I'm shocked at it, but in the same sense, now that Triple H is running the ship, it's got to be said, I think Triple H is a G. I think he's such a gangster. I've always liked him. He's a cool dude. He clearly watches what's going on outside of his bubble, which is amazing. The fact that he's allowed Carl to have this dual deal is cool. It does make me wonder what doors could be open. I always want to know who is the best out of their crop. I always like testing myself, and it would be very interesting if there was a way of making that door open. You never know." End quote.
He also said today in his interview, so after the match, so for people who don't watch a lot of New Japan, they usually have like press conferences, with the individual wrestlers, like literally right after the match, and they'll just put it on Twitter or whatnot. So Will Ospreay questions if the sacrifices he has made are even worth it. That he only wanted one thing, and he said, giving himself a year to accomplish it. He said if he can't, he said then maybe it's time he went elsewhere. So that could be obviously talking, into storyline or whatnot. But there's two thoughts about this. Maybe he'll come to AEW permanently, because I can definitely see him and Kenny Omega in a rematch at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view in the States, or he may actually want to venture elsewhere. I'm not saying WWE, but he may want to actually venture elsewhere. I don't know if his contract is coming up with New Japan, or if it's coming to an end here. I thought I saw something about that, but I may be wrong about that there. But that's something to keep an eye on, is Will Ospreay, and see where he kind of wants to do and go.
All right, so I'm looking up Will Ospreay's contract. It expires next year.
Okay. So that makes 2024. Damn, 2024 is going to be a big year, man.
Yeah, you have that.
You got him, MJF. Like, it's going to be big, man.
Yeah, it's going to be big for wrestling. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. We've had this conversation before about Triple H. Triple H, he's not like, you know, Vince in a sense where he lives in his own bubble and he only pays attention to WWE stuff, and he'll get his recommendations off of what other people tell him, whether it be negative or positive. Whereas Triple H, I believe he does watch other wrestling. Like, he does look for other wrestlers out there. Granted, does he watch everything? Probably not, but he'll watch whatever he can, and he'll hear names, and he'll have people say, you know, he'll ask people, should I sign this guy? What do you think about this guy? What do you think about this girl? And he'll go off their recommendation or not. So, a guy like Will Ospreay in WWE could be interesting. You know, because he's, you know, known as the best wrestler in the world. And how old is Will Ospreay, by the way?
He's in his 20s, I still want to think. Let's see. He is 29.
All right, there we go.
Turns 30 this year in May.
That's crazy. Like, so
he's not even I mean, technically he's not even in his prime yet. You know what I mean? Like, Will Ospreay, and a lot of people, you know, say, oh, you know, flippy dippy, you know, so. Okay, but, you know, again, he's 29 years old. So, like, when we, you know, first really got, you know, exposed to him I first got exposed to him when, you know, with the Ricochet Ospreay match in New Japan for the, I think it was the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. But, like, we really got exposed to him maybe for the past 5 years, if that, right? And a lot of people say, oh, man, this guy's incredible. You know, he's doing, you know, amazing stuff. But that's all he really does. He doesn't really tell a story. Over the past year, if you know, not necessarily have to watch New Japan, but if you, like, pay attention a little bit, kind of keep up a little bit, you're seeing that he's starting to tell more stories through his promos. And the promo that he did with Kenny Omega before their match tonight, or yesterday, or however you want to see it, it was a damn good promo. It was a real promo from him because, you know, he really did lose his best friend. He had to watch his funeral through an iPad. He had to, he had some, you know, things that he was going through as well. Will Ospreay almost died himself. You know what I mean? You know, not too long ago as well, because, you know, he had a sickness as well that, you know, we didn't know if he was going to come back from. So, yeah, no, just with that there, I think that if he comes over to WWE, he could do all the amazing stuff in the ring, but I think he's going to be, he's going to have some background to him, and he's going to be able to tell stories probably better than what probably people are thinking. And with Triple H being in charge and being in front of him, he's going to even enhance him even more. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, his promo work is not fantastic, right? It's okay. His in-ring is fantastic, right? You know, very revolutionary here. And you know he's durable, too, because he's taking all these goddamn bumps. But, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on, you know, what happens with Will Ospreay, because, you know, if his contract's up next year, he may, I don't know if he'll go to AEW, and I know Tony Khan, he goes to AEW, Tony Khan probably wants him for multiple years, but maybe it can be like in a per appearance deal, right? Be there for a year, and then, you know, maybe he wants to explore his options somewhere else. So, again, 2024 is going to be very interesting for Ospreay.
How much of a pimp would Triple H be if he was able to nab both Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega? Like, just imagine that. Just imagine how everyone's heads would explode. And I say that partly because Kenny's contract expires at the end of the month. Now, granted, he's gonna probably stay with AEW.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things of, we didn't think Cody was gonna come back to WWE. We thought he was gonna be an AEW lifer. He probably would have ended up, you know, trying to, you know, buy the company. But he ended up going back to WWE. So it's one of those things of, like, we'll never know. But, like, it almost seems like he'll more than likely stay with AEW. But you never know what's going to happen in a month.
Yeah, true. I mean, and Omega in his match tonight, his eye is basically swollen shut after that hard-hitting match against Ospreay. So they're saying that it may be they're not saying maybe a broken orbital bone, but there could be concerns about his orbital bone, and they're supposed to be wrestling next week in Los Angeles, which is going to be to me this Dynamite next week is going to be stacked. Like, just imagine everything that's going on this card here. But if Omega is not fully clear to wrestle, that's going to be kind of an issue. I think he will be clear to wrestle, but I'm just saying if he's not, then that'll be an issue. And by the way, Omega's entrance was fucking fantastic. Mm-hmm. I don't play Final Fantasy, but I know of Final Fantasy 7. I know of Sephiroth, and I heard the Sephiroth theme. Him just coming out to the Sephiroth theme with the 1 week. Oh my god, that was spectacular. Loved it. Loved it.
Well, Kenny's a big gamer, so he likes to incorporate that in his entrance. So, as far as Kenny his injury status goes, I think if he does wrestle next week, it might be limited time. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see him, do too much wrestling. Like it might just be a thing of him getting the hot tag and doing the big moves. But I mean, I'm not the biggest Kenny guy, but I don't wish ill will. I don't wish that anything bad were to happen to him. So, yeah, I mean, here's hoping for a speedy recovery. Here's hoping he's okay. Yeah, just nothing but good things to say to Kenny. I'll just put it that way. Other news. Well, I have a lot of news open actually. So we can talk about the Mandy thing. We can talk about William Regal. We can talk about Batista, Seth Rollins' injury, Josh Alexander, and what the fuck else? Oh wait, yeah, another Mandy Rose thing, but with Booker T, and then Raw, and then the Karen Angle thing. I don't know which one you want to start with.
Start, yeah, you pick it, man. Whatever you think is the most important, go for it.
Let's talk about Mandy. So, Mandy Rose made over $1 million on her fan time thing. I don't want to say thing, but she has made $1 million since being released by WWE a month ago. Is there more?
That's pretty much it. That was pretty much the story.
Well, I think the site, the website, kind of like congratulated her for making over $1 million, and her agent, said the same thing. So, yeah, Mandy's doing she's doing pretty well. She's making almost as much money as well, not as much money, but she's basically Avatar right now. She's making a shit ton of money since leaving WWE. Booker T has some interesting comments to make. He says, and I quote, $1 million ain't going to take care of you for a solid year if you're living large. Booker T stated on his podcast, it isn't a lot of money for those who run expensive cars and live in luxurious homes. Furthermore, he opined that Rose is too talented to solely focus on her modeling pursuits and could have been more successful in WWE with the machine behind her. I think Rose launching a fan time account was the wrong decision, and I stand by that because I feel that Mandy's talent was so much more than her beauty. According to Booker, Rose could have made more money if she stayed with WWE and allowed the company to market her. The WWE Hall of Famer stated that while he isn't mad at Rose for making money, he believes that she has enough raw potential to have made it to the top in WWE. And that's pretty much the end of his quote.
Yeah, I mean, I really have nothing to add on that. I mean, I would just say just let her do her, kind of let her figure out. She's still young. Let her figure out what she wants to do. I mean, if she wants to do this full time, great. If not, then there's an open door back into wrestling, WWE preferably. So, we'll just have to wait and see. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's still impressive that she's able to make this much money, and not have the WWE behind her, WWE machine behind her. So, I mean, he has some points where $1 million isn't going to last, especially you look at how Mandy lives. She lives in a nice house, she has a nice pool. I mean, I don't know how many cars she has. I don't know how materialistic she is. I doubt she's a materialistic type of person. But she seems
I don't know about that.
But
I'm pretty sure she likes nice things per se, but like I mean,
right?
I don't think she's like fully like entranced in her materials, but I think she is somewhat materialistic.
Right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, I don't really know how to word this well, but it's just I think Mandy could be back in WWE, but it's one of those things of like we don't know. I mean, I've said this time and time again. We don't know what she wants. We don't know what she wants to do, and you also can't. Jesus Christ, this fucking headphones. You also can't really underestimate how horny these guys are. They will drop a lot of money just to see a picture of Mandy in her bikini, and they'll pay a lot of money just so Mandy could fart in a jar and send it to them. Like that's how much money these dudes will spend. Like, don't underestimate them. Like, do not, like, Booker's right. $1 million won't last, but horniness will last forever. I mean, it's true. Like, I mean, is Mandy gonna like live her whole life doing that? Probably not, because I can't picture her being someone that's like, well, I actually want to work. Like, I actually want to. Not to say that she's not doing anything for her money, but I think she eventually will want to actually work and save up that money for something else. So, I mean, she could be back in WWE. She could be in Hollywood. She could, I don't know, do something else, like work in real estate. Or, I don't know, open up her own gym, open up her own like fitness center. I don't know. But, I mean, we're not hating. We love the hustle. Good on Mandy for making that money and not letting that money make her. Let's see what else we have. Close that. We already talked about it. William Regal is back with WWE officially. This morning, Regal made his return to WWE, and he has now taken on a vice president role in the company.
Yeah. We kind of talked about that over the last few weeks. That he was going to return in January, and they was going to be taking on a vice president role. So yeah, I know we mentioned that a couple of times already, but yeah, good for him. And hopefully we will. I mean, we're not going to see him on TV, but hopefully we can start seeing his influence per se back in the main roster in NXT. So I'm just curious on what that vice president role is. I mean, I don't know if it's. I'm assuming maybe of talent relations. But we'll see.
I mean, that'd be good because, what made NXT, black and gold was that, they were going out and it was a combination of them finding talent, but also building talent from the ground up. And William Regal played a big role in that. And they wanted to kind of go back to, I guess, the OVW days of building up their own talent. But I don't know. It seems like people would rather see talent from other places on NXT and the companies, and William Regal, kind of like Triple H, has a good eye for talent. And
yeah, absolutely.
And also not for nothing,
especially since he was there on the inside in AEW. They were there on the he was there on the inside of AEW, so he knows what talent's being used. He probably knows what talent is gonna be projected for a push in 2023, right? Projectively, right? So he can focus on the talent that, all right, well, Tony, I have a feeling that Tony's not gonna be pushing these guys. Maybe we can lure these guys away from AEW to WWE. I can see that too. So
right, I was gonna say that kind of like with Cody. Cody came back. I'm pretty sure Cody has numbers. I'm pretty sure William Regal has numbers, and that's going to be a thing for Triple H to ask him. All right, whose contract is up? Like who wants to come here? Who's frustrated? Who should we keep our eye on? So, I mean, it's going to be again. 2023 is going to be an interesting year for wrestling. 2024 is probably going to be the biggest year for wrestling because again, you got Regal, and Cody possibly telling Triple H, hey, sign MJF. This MJF kid has something. You might want to keep your eye on him. Or same thing with a Will Ospreay. Keep your eye on Will Ospreay. because Cody worked in NJPW, and did they ever work together, Ospreay and Cody?
So Ospreay, he was there. I mean, because he was in Ring of Honor too in 2016 to 2018. So I'm pretty sure that they crossed each other's paths for sure. Either in the United Kingdom, Ring of Honor. I don't know about New Japan. I'm not too sure, but I'm more than sure that they had a match or two together. I want to say I definitely want to say Ring of Honor for sure. It may have been on a pay-per-view, and I probably don't even remember it, but I definitely want to say Ring of Honor.
All right. Let's see. And Eddie saying when Cody was an NJPW, Ospreay was a junior heavyweight. All right.
Yeah, so he was a junior heavyweight. So in New Japan, junior heavyweight. So they treat their divisions as actual divisions, kind of like in boxing. So if Cody was a heavyweight, then Will Ospreay would not have wrestled Cody because he was a junior heavyweight, which is basically like a cruiserweight.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, what's a good example? So a good example, right? Kenny Omega, he was a junior heavyweight for a while, and when AJ Styles left, he kicked out AJ Styles out of the Bullet Club. That's when Kenny Omega became a heavyweight, and that's when he started wrestling guys like Okada and Tanahashi, things of that nature. But prior to that, he didn't wrestle them because he wasn't considered as a heavyweight.
Okay. If only wrestling still did that.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well. Next, Karen Jarrett. So, Karen Jarrett responded to when Max Caster last week made the rap. And Max Caster, of course, mentioned Karen Jarrett about Jeff Jarrett stealing her away from Kurt. And then we already know about Jeff's comments. And they had the match earlier where the Acclaimed won after a controversial finish. Ref Aubrey saw that Bowens' leg was on the rope, so she ordered the match to be restarted. Karen Jarrett tweeted this. Hold on, where's the other tweet? Where the fuck is the tweet? Okay, here we go. Where she basically just said that she has dirt on Kurt Angle, and for whatever reason she tagged in Kelly, Don Marie, and somebody else whose name I'm blanking on. And Barbie Blank, who's Kelly, responded by saying, or she quoted Karen Jarrett's tweet. I keep linked in this tweet. I have DM'd Karen to privately ask her, and I'm waiting for her response. But I want to go ahead and publicly make a statement that the only way I can be linked to Kurt is we were co-workers. Sorry, but thanks for the Monday morning entertainment. End quote. So Karen is pretty much being a Karen. She's basically thirsty for attention, and nothing about Kurt being abusive or an asshole or abusing their kids. He probably had some affairs, which again, that's still bad. That's still bad, both. I'm not promoting cheating on your spouse in any way. What I am saying is, compared to most things that people have gotten in trouble for, like serious abusive things, or racial things, homophobic things, having marital affairs is kind of low on the totem pole of bad things. So I think it was kind of like widely known that Kurt Angle and Dawn Marie had an affair. Him and Kelly, that would be rare, because I don't think he was there that long when Kelly was there.
Yeah, because remember Kelly was 19.
Right. I mean, granted, a lot can happen in a few months, but Kelly just stepping in front of him and just saying, "Yeah, we didn't do anything, so why am I tagged in this?" So, but
I mean, of course she's gonna deny it. I mean, I'm not saying that she did either, but I'm just saying, like, she's not gonna be like, yeah, I fucked your husband.
Yeah.
Fucked him good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just for Karen to do shit like that. I mean, again, that's just kind of a very cunny thing. Like I don't see what you're getting out of this. Besides, trying to expose your ex-husband for having premarital affairs and the fact that you're tagging people in it. No, it's just kind of a very cunning thing to do. It's just, if it happened, it happened. Get over it. Like, you're married, Kurt's married, you guys are living your lives. Just, unless he abused you, then that would be a bad thing. But having premarital affairs, like I mentioned, it's very low compared to, like, most bad things that people can get exposed for or people can get in trouble for. So, and you notice how that just kind of went away, like, pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
So, let's see. For context, Blank was 19 years old when she made her debut in ECW on June 13, 2006. And Kurt was released from WWE August 25th. So, they were only co-workers for about 2 months. And, yeah, so.
I mean, even though they were co-workers for only 2 months, I mean, that doesn't mean that he, just because you're co doesn't mean that guys stop being friends, you know what I mean? So, but I'm not saying,
right.
Go ahead. But I'm not saying, like, that's different, though, because she was brand new to the business, and he was well established, so, but, I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing with Kelly, people want to say that, oh, she slept around. It's like, okay, you take a really good-looking girl, a really good-looking young girl who's an adult, who's already, well enough to be an adult, and you place her in an environment with really good-looking, in-shape jack guys. What do you think's going to happen? Like, so, I mean, is it really that shocking that she got around? No. Like, and again, we don't care. Like, I don't slut shame. I've never slut shame. I slut courage. So if Kelly wanted to get some dick, let her get some dick. Not my problem. And if she's happy, we're happy, right, Justin?
Sure. She, that Kelly, she's part Roman.
What do you mean?
Like, just part Roman, like Roman, like from Rome, Italy.
Oh, so you mean Italian, right?
Well, I guess so, Italian, but her name was Dixis Maximus. You want to know what my original Roman name is? What is it?
Biggest Dickus.
Biggest Dickus.
There you go.
Amazing.
Love it. Other news. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna show some love to Impact people. Just be here when it happens. So Josh Alexander has surpassed a record in Impact Wrestling as the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion in the company's history. At 200 and what's today, the 4th, so 256 days. And that's more than Bobby Roode, who held the title for 256 days from October 2011 to July 2012. So, hey, good on Josh. Good on Josh Alexander for doing something.
Yeah, man, he's very underrated, man. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does. Obviously because he's in Impact, but it's kind of a shame on how we view certain wrestlers for the company that they work for. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. That's just the beast of social media or whatnot. But I think he's been, from what I've been seeing, with his reign and paying attention to some of the stuff that's been going on with Impact. He seems to be a very credible world champion now. I don't know about this match against, Bully Ray at Hard to Kill. I don't know about that. I don't know how's that gonna do. But outside of that, man, he's been a very, very good wrestler, man. Very, very good wrestler. So good for him.
Yeah, I mean, another guy that I know I just complimented him, but it's just one of those things. I was just like, dude, why? Like, it just seems like you're a big fish in a small pond. Like, you know, it'd be interesting to see him in WWE. Maybe pair him with fucking Alpha Academy.
I think he'll probably, and I'll probably think he'll probably do better maybe in AEW. Probably not, because AEW wanted Josh Alexander over Ethan Page, because I don't know if you know, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, they were a tag team called the North.
I remember.
And in Impact, and AEW really wanted they really wanted Josh Alexander over Ethan Page, so I could definitely see him being, you know, somebody that can be in the TNT division for sure. You know what I mean? And somebody like him versus Bryan Danielson. Oh my God, sign me up for that! Like, that'd be an incredible match.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see him in AEW. I think he can probably be, I guess, a bigger star in AEW compared to like WWE. He'd probably just be more of a gimmick wrestler in WWE compared to like AEW. So, I don't know, he also seems like the type of guy that just likes doing what he does, that prefers his own freedom. And he's a married man, right? He has kids.
Yeah, he's married.
Yeah, he seems like he prefers his schedule to just go to Impact, wrestle maybe twice a week, and then just go home. So, that's not a bad deal, especially if you're a wrestler and you have a family, kind of like in AEW, where most of the guys who are married and have kids seem like they're happy in AEW because they only get to wrestle maybe like once or twice a week, and they get to go home and just chill with their family. So, couldn't ask for a better schedule if you have a family.
For sure.
We got the main event coming up, Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Darby is the hometown kid. He's a Seattle boy, so pretty interesting.
Yeah, Joe's winning.
Yeah, Joe's winning. There's no doubt. Joe cut off Wardlow's man bun, which good, because a big imposing monster of a guy should not have a man bun.
I mean, that would make Wardlow different, though. Now he's gonna look like everybody
Yeah, but he should not have a man bun.
I liked it. I mean, I think if somebody can pull that off and look as good as that guy, I mean, let him do whatever the hell he wants.
I mean, granted, I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's ruining him. It's like, yeah, but I'd prefer it if it just wasn't there. But, you know.
Wait till he comes out, he's probably going to get... I mean, he's going to get a reaction by default, but, like, his... like, God, man, I don't want to see him with this haircut. Like, this is going to look bad. He's going to come out. He's going to come out, and this is going to look terrible. I'm just saying.
I thought you were going to say he's going to come out and he's going to have a man bun.
A fake man bun.
Like, Joe's going to be like... Joe's going to be like, what the fuck? I cut that off last week. Aha! You didn't.
I have fast-growing hair.
What you didn't know is my body is made out of Play-Doh.
Oh, man.
But,
Gumby.
Yeah, that paint looks pretty cool on Darby.
Yeah, I love his paint jobs. Man. Like his action figures and shit, man, is like so like his AEW action figures is so fucking cool because he has a lot of different face paint jobs and that he has. So, but good shit.
I like Darby. I mean,
oh my God, what is that? Is that his brother that he's attacking?
Let's see. It said 17-year-old guy, and it didn't specify if it was his brother.
That's Nick Wayne?
I guess whoever that is.
You said a 17-year-old guy. So are you talking about the wrestler?
I don't know. I need to fast forward and see who the fuck that was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's if you're talking about that could have been Nick Wayne.
Yeah, Nick Wayne. There you go. 17-year-old wrestling prodigy signed to an AEW contract.
Yeah, he's fucking good too for his age. He's really good. I've seen some of his GCW stuff, and he's pretty good, man, for 17 years old, man.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about like teenagers signing with companies or wrestling companies. I mean, so, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how good he is. Hey Kyle, what's up? Um, but yeah, I like Darby. I mean, of all the I guess the smaller looking guys, if that's the best way to put it. I like Darby because his stuff actually like packs a punch and like it packs a punch. You know what I mean? Like when he's going for like his dives, it looks like he's fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Jesus Christ, man, this guy's a fucking maniac.
Oh yeah,
He's a fucking maniac, man. You tell me you can tell who his favorite wrestler was when growing up. Like
Jeff Hardy.
You don't even you don't even have to ask him who was your favorite wrestler growing up. You don't even have to ask the guy.
It's like you look like Jeff Hardy, so you like Jeff Hardy.
Like, seriously.
I don't know. I just remember in high school, like middle school and high school, like girls that didn't even watch wrestling would be like, "I like Jeff Hardy. He's hot."
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
I mean, he was the lady killer.
He was the lady killer. I guess another piece of news. It's not really news. It's just Batista making a comment about The Rock. He was in GQ and he was talked about comparisons from being a former wrestler. God damn it! That fucking echo. Go away. Go away. Okay. It's still there. Fuck it. So he was on GQ talking about a variety of topics. One such topic being having his acting career as a former WWE star and a professional wrestler compared to The Rock. He put, "I never wanted to be the next Rock. I just wanted to be a good fucking actor. A respected actor. I'm afraid of things. I'm nervous about things, but I can force myself to do things that make me uncomfortable because I know I'm not going to get anywhere if I don't. I may cringe after the fact, but I'm not going to let that fear hold me back." End quote.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know he wants to be a more respected actor. I think out of all the wrestling actors that came into professional wrestling, he's definitely one of the best for sure. Like pure actors. Not to say that he's a great actor in general, but he's definitely a good actor. Yeah.
I mean, granted, he got lucky with a lot of his roles. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, that kind of fell into his lap, but the director took a chance on him and liked him so much that he actually wrote more lines specifically for him because he liked him so much and he was able to pull off that role. And he's been in other films too. He was in Blade Runner, where he didn't have to be the big, strong, angry guy. He was in Dune, which I wasn't a big Dune fan, but people liked it. So, he was apparently good in that.
Yeah, he was in Spectre as well. Play Mr. Hinks.
Yes.
He didn't talk much. He didn't talk much in the movie, but his physicality. Spectre sucks, by the way. Like, it's one of the worst Bond movies ever. I was so upset with that movie, but regardless, yeah, but Batista was good in it though. He did a good job for the most part.
Right, and the most recent one he did was Knives Out, the Knives Out movie on Netflix, which he was pretty good in that as well. And the director of the movie, Ryan Johnson, hailed Batista as being probably the best, wrestler to become an actor.
I mean, that's not saying much either. I mean,
well,
that's like saying the shit I took yesterday is the shit that I took. It's better than the shit I took today. It's still shit,
Nah, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to heavily disagree on that because there's been a lot of wrestlers that become actors, and a lot of them have either been not good or not bad. I mean, Roddy Piper wasn't that great of an actor. Let's just be real. Hulk Hogan.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all right. We don't have a lot of. Well, okay, we can. What you want to talk about? Rob Van Dam, Diamond Dallas Page. We can go down the whole list of Ready to Rumble.
Hey, I liked Ready to Rumble, but that's.
I love that movie, man. I love that movie actually, but.
I mean, the Rock is obviously the most, I guess, successful financially.
Most successful, yeah.
Even though his movies are just really not that good.
Right.
Cena, I think, is maybe the second best wrestler turned actor.
Okay.
He's proven that he has range and he can be funny and dramatic and charming. And Batista is probably the best one because he's chosen his roles and he wants to be more of a character actor rather than the next big action star, which, good. He didn't do the cliche thing of I'm going to be an action star, which granted, he did Marvel, and Marvel's, I guess, a little bit of action. It's not so much action. He's not, he doesn't want to do Fast and Furious or, other movies like that. He'd rather just choose his own roles, which good. Good on Batista.
So with Batista, so Batista's basically like the De Niro to you, then, like, as far as like top. I'm not saying that he's like good as De Niro, but I'm saying in comparison to wrestling actors. He's the best.
Right, he's the best, but De Niro, I would say, fuck. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one, but but yeah, I get what you're trying to say, compared to like most wrestling actors, but like, I don't know who to compare him to, because he's such a big dominating presence, but he plays.
Well, I'm not comparing to like. I'm just comparing to like, not like I'm comparing to like ability to act in comparison to his. To his colleagues per se, because like so we got like wrestling actors out there, right? So, Hogan, Jesse Ventura, Roddy Piper, right? You had Dusty Rhodes was in a movie. He was in a movie back in the day, in the 70s. I don't think you want to see that one. It's pretty bad.
Terry Funk.
Let me tell you, like he was basically beating Dusty Rhodes. So, like, I don't know if that's awesome or bad for a movie, but like Dusty Rhodes, then you had like obviously you had like The Rock and Cena and Batista. Then you had like these like Goldberg and Rob Van Dam and Sting started his own movie. Just God, Jesus Christ, man, just. Yeah, Batista's De Niro.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Batista is basically De Niro. But hey, good on Batista. Batista,
yeah, for sure.
Went from OVW and not making a lot of money, and now he's making good money. So good on Batista. Good on Batista and Cena, and of course Rock. But Batista, like we just said, is basically the De Niro of wrestlers turned actors. So we're happy for Batista. We're cheering for him.
He walks alone too.
He walks alone inside this pit of danger. What else can we talk about? Raw. Raw happened. Raw was decent. There was some interesting stuff on Raw. So the Bloodline showed back up on Raw, and they were being kicked out by Adam Pearce. But nobody wanted to step up to the Bloodline, so KO came out and tried to attack 4 men by himself, but made him look kind of dumb. Other than that, the crowd seemed pretty into it. So, and also Adam Pearce told the Bloodline, minus Roman, you all are going to be in matches tonight. So, which was, before we get into the rest of the show, I was kind of hoping it was going to be more of a thing of everybody was going to have one-on-one competition, rather than like, one guy was going to have a singles match and the rest are just going to be in a big tag match. Like, I don't know. I think that would have made more sense to me personally. But the first match opening show was Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair. The match ended in DQ after Alexa went nuts, and Bianca won by DQ, and Alexa just started to beat the shit out of Bianca until Bianca's face was bleeding. Bianca was legit, like, her face was swollen. She even showed a picture of it.
Yeah.
So now Bliss is a heel again.
Yeah. And obviously she has some connection with Bray Wyatt. That was the biggest thing there with the with the fans in the crowd with the Wyatt mask. So yeah, man, we'll see how that goes from there. But yeah, Alexa is to me, she turned heel when she hit Bianca over the head with the vase, but...
Oh, shit. Fucking Darby beat Joe.
What?
Yep.
You're way ahead of me.
Oh, shit, am I? My bad.
Yeah. Like, you're way ahead of me.
He beat him with 2 coffin drops.
Oh yeah, well, okay. I'm happy for Darby. I am. But I question it because you're building up Samoa Joe. You just had him cut Wardlow's hair, and then you have him lose to Darby. I guess his hometown. I get it, I understand it, right? But hey, not so much about Darby. I'm glad that he's champion. I'm glad he's gonna be on TV more frequently again. But again, what was the whole situation with Joe and Wardlow and basically Joe basically screwing Wardlow out of the TNT title and all that? Like, now that story doesn't have any meaning because of this. You know what I mean? So
I guess the story they can make with it is Wardlow doesn't care about the title anymore. He just wants to kill Joe.
I get that, yes, but they were making the story of Samoa Joe being, I am the greatest. Or he says, I'm the king of television and all that, and they were really just starting that gimmick with them. So I'm very conflicted with this here. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, that's AEW does some weird shit. Like
it's not a downgrade per se with Darby being champion. I think it's about the same. He's a two-time champion now. You know what I mean? But I feel that Darby. Okay, so then what happens when Darby loses the title? Like, is he going to be elevated to the main event, or is he going to just go back down to where he was? I feel that Darby's not really elevating himself with this title win. You know what I mean? I don't feel that it's going to make a difference once he loses the title. You know what I mean? Because I feel that Tony Khan just may put him back down to where he was from before. So I don't know how to feel about it's like I mean. I don't know. Because I'm looking on Twitter right now and I'm seeing people kind of saying like how I am. They kind of lukewarm on it. You know what I mean? Like, they don't hate it. They're just kind of like, what? You know what I mean? Like okay. You know what I mean? But whatever.
Oh, this thing about Darby is just they always give him these start and stop pushes, and like you said, it just doesn't make any sense because it's just we're happy, but what now? Like, what's this going to mean for Wardlow, who the guy was over, and then as soon as he became champion, it seemed like that was the worst thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah, because if he beats Samoa Joe, okay, great, he wins the feud with Samoa Joe, but he doesn't get anything attached to that. Samoa Joe Samoa Joe should have been utilized to put. I mean, he did put over. Okay, let me back up. But the story was Wardlow winning back the TNT title and starting a real TNT reign because Joe put him over. That was the story. But instead of now, you had Darby beat Joe. Okay, come on. Okay, I mean, it's whatever, man. Like, it's whatever. It is what it is. I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, but I mean. Yeah,
that's basically AEW in a nutshell. Going back to Raw, Elias wrestled Solo Sikoa in a street fight. I thought this was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Of course, good. Solo getting the win. During the match, a singer named Hardy, or whatever Hardy, who's doing doing the theme song for Royal Rumble, came in and hit Solo with a guitar. Solo, of course, no-sold it, and that was pretty much the end of that. The Usos and Sami Zayn versus the Street Profits and Kevin Owens. During this, Montez Ford selling the fact that he's upset about what happened to Bianca and not, going for the hot tag. Kevin Owens has to pretty much slap him on the chest and say, "You're in this match." And Montez, goes in, and of course, just having a solid performance. In the end, the Bloodline wins. So after the match, the Bloodline comes in and tries to take everyone out. the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre come in to clean up shop. So now we have that storyline continuing. Let me ask you this. So about Montez, do you think this sets up a potential heel turn for him?
I mean, we know that it's in the Wayne Wings that he wants a singles run, but I mean, and it was kind of teased before. I mean, I don't see it yet, but at the same time, I'm not surprised if we see it either. So, you know, honestly, with Raw though, I'll be honest, like I only caught maybe like the first hour of Raw, then I transitioned to Monday Night Football. What happened with the Bills player?
Right.
Yeah, because that was kind of priority for me because that was I had a lot of people that was kind of messaging me about it too, is what we were kind of talking about. But yeah, no, but in reference to this here, yeah, I think it can be coming down the line. I mean, one of them is going to have to not necessarily turn heel, but one of them is going to have to, you know, try to go with a singles run eventually here. But first, before that happens, we need more tag teams. So FTR needs to get there. Ciampa needs to get back. So maybe him and Gargano needs to put together DIY. You know what I mean? So we need more tag teams first before we get rid, because if you get rid of the Street Profits, that's the top 3 tag team in the WWE. They are a top 3 tag team in the WWE. So, yeah, you really need to fill some big shoes with that if you break them up.
I mean, you're not wrong. You got to make sure that tag team division is intact before you decide to split anyone up. So you're saying you pretty much you didn't see like the rest of Raw after this?
I kept up with it, but I wasn't watching it live. I kind of went back and watched some of the highlights or whatnot, but yeah, Monday Night Football was a priority, because the whole DeMar Hamlin situation was I had to make sure that the guy I mean, I wasn't there or anything, obviously, right? But like I was just hoping that the guy was okay, man, and I was trying to keep up with everything. So,
did you saw everything that what happened with Skip Bayless? And,
yeah. I saw the hit, saw him stand up, saw him fall back down, unfortunately, and watching everyone's reactions to it. Skip Bayless is in hot water. I mean, it's Skip Bayless though. Like, I mean, people are getting mad, but like, it's like, okay, are you surprised at this point? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, obviously be mad, he's an idiot, but like, just at this point, don't even be surprised about what the fuck he's doing now. You know, he's a moron. But yeah, no, I just like that was one of those things where it was like, you know, I'm definitely not comparing the two, but I'm just saying that, like, if the president were to got shot, you know what I mean, and he was in critical condition, okay, I'm going to be turning on CNN, and, you know, I can live without Monday Night Raw for a week and kind of see what the hell's going on with the president, you know what I mean, type of thing, so.
It's funny you mention that, because, like, on the very next, was it Tuesday, Shannon Sharp didn't show up to Undisputed, so it was just Skip running.
On the show yesterday, yeah.
And Skip had mentioned that the day that Kennedy was assassinated, that the NFL still decided to play games, and that the former owner of the NFL had mentioned that was probably one of his biggest regrets, is not, for the show to go on, even after 9/11. After 9/11, I don't think they played a game for like a week or two. So, and then today, Shannon came back, and Shannon tried to make his point without getting into an argument, but Skip did what he always did and cut off Shannon, and Shannon was just like, you know what, just Jen, start us off. So I'm pretty I think Shannon is pretty much going to lead that show and do his own thing, because
he definitely can at this point, for sure.
Skip just seems unbearable to most people. But moving on with the rest of the show, Dexter Lumis versus Chad Gable. This match was what it was. Dexter getting the win. No Bronson Reed. at all.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that the crowd wasn't really into with Dexter Lumis, which I'm not surprised by. You know what I mean? He's a very niche character, so yeah, no, and with Bronson Reed as well. At first I thought he was going because he was in New Japan as well, and he beat Okada. A lot of people he beat Okada, but I wasn't saying that he wasn't going to be there. I mean, he could have went to Japan because there was a lot of people that were there backstage. You had Naomi backstage, Kalisto, Asuka was there, Bailey was backstage for Mercedes today. So, you know what I mean, it wouldn't have been too surprising that if Bronson would have went to New Japan just to go, you know what I mean? But I don't know, but yeah, kind of surprising that he wasn't there, but a lot of people say that he's with the Miz. I saw something that it was just the Miz just, you know, paying him for that one night. I don't know though, but we'll have to wait and see on that there, because I ride for him to be. I want him, like, okay, him with the Miz is good, right? That's cool. That will get him over, and people will react to him, but I want to kind of see how he does by himself and see if he try to get over by himself. You know what I mean? So we'll have to wait and see.
That's where I kind of interject with, because I think him being with the Miz will help, because it'll help him get that exposure. Because not everybody watches NXT, not everyone watches Noah or NJPW or IWGP. So I think being with the Miz is definitely going to help him, because people know who the Miz is. The Miz has been in this company for almost 2 decades, and anyone who's usually with the Miz, it's usually a good thing for them. So him being on his own, I don't know. Like, again, it's one of those things, like, maybe it could work, maybe it couldn't. So we'll just have to wait and see. Next is Becky Lynch and Mia Yim versus Damage Control. This was a fun match. The crowd seemed like they were waking up during this. What is it? Becky came out and challenged Bayley to another match. Bayley said, "No, I beat you, but you can wrestle my 2 girls, unless you can find a partner." So for a while, Becky was going at it alone until Mia Yim came out, which I was kind of surprised by, but whatever. Becky, and of course, like I said, it was a good match. It was fun. Becky is over. People love Becky, and I'm loving I like the feud with Becky and Bayley. I want to see it continue. And Damage Control won. And then you got the main event. Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins. I thought this was a really good match. I thought this match really showcased why Austin...
An excellent match. Very excellent.
Oh, yeah. It really showcased why Austin Theory is the guy that WWE thinks he is. Like, he is going to be that guy. Maybe this year won't be his year, but next year is definitely going to be his year. Mark my words. Like, he will be
world champion in 2024.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. Like, if Cody's going to have a long title reign, I think Austin's going to be the guy that dethrones him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, Austin proved himself in that main event. Seth Rollins proved why he is really goddamn good, and that he can have a great match with anyone. I love the match. I really thought it was good. I like the ending. I was thinking to myself, does Austin really need to win by a heel move? But then I realized, wait, he's a heel. So, yeah, I was fine with the ending. So Austin wins. After the match, Seth Rollins put up a tweet, redesign, rebuild, reclaim. So it looks like Seth is hurt. The extent of the injury is no. Do you know how severe the injury is? If he mentioned,
with Seth Rollins' injury, I don't think it's 100% serious. At least from what I've been exposed to, as far as with his injury. I don't think it's that serious. We'll have to wait and see, because he wrestled the match just fine for the most part, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe he'll just take some time on take some time off, but I think it's just kayfabe because, why wasn't there you do a freaking chop block to it in the middle of the match for the finish or whatnot, right? So, I don't think it's fully 100% serious. If that were the case, I'm pretty sure we would have heard something more by now, right? I'm pretty sure that WWE themselves, because they usually update that type of stuff, with that there. So we'll have to wait and see. It's been a day. It's been over a day now. We haven't heard anything back from it yet. Today's Wednesday, so it's been 2 days since the injury. So, I don't know. I hope he's okay. I hope he's all right. And I hope that he will be able to come back soon. Definitely, if not Royal Rumble, he doesn't need to be at Royal Rumble, but at least before WrestleMania. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll just hopefully everything is okay with them.
Yeah, here's a speedy recovery for Seth, who to me had the best year out of any wrestler I've seen. Other news, I just saw this. A&E announces return of WWE programming. The rumored episodes for A&E's biography WWE Legends will premiere the night of February 19th. These 6 documentaries for Season 3 will focus on the following WWE Hall of Famers. Kane. Oof. China. That's interesting. Dusty Rhodes, Jake Roberts, the Sheik, Iron Sheik, and the NWO. It is also reported that in November that Season 3 will also feature Randy Orton and Hall of Famer Ricky Steamboat. It was also reported that WWE and AEW were working on a biography documentary for Paige. Despite her signing with AEW, there's no word yet on the status of the docs on Paige, Orton, and Steamboat. Season 2 of WWE Rivals and Season 2 of WWE's Most Wanted Treasures will also return on February 19th. And WWE spinoff of A&E's popular biography series premiered in April 24th. So I was just telling us what we already know. So let's see. Yeah. We're getting Kane, China, Dusty, Jake Roberts, and Iron Sheik in the NWO, and supposedly Randy Orton and Ricky Steamboat.
Iron Sheik's gonna be fantastic. Just him just being like, I fucking break his back and made him humble. Talking about be Brian Blair inside of the Silver Dome at WrestleMania 3 trying to break his back. I want to hear that.
That fucking Draboni, I break his back and make him humble. I'm Sheiky, baby. I love it. The Randy Orton one will be interesting, even though we kind of already know about his story.
Not the voices inside his head.
Not the voices. Ricky Steamboat could be interesting. I like Ricky Steamboat. China. Oh boy. Like, how are they gonna do that?
I don't see. They can just make a simple story out of it, man. They don't have to I think they're gonna talk about her demons, but they don't have to talk about her porn history or anything like that.
It's one of those things you can't avoid, though.
You can, yeah. Because that didn't define her. That was a very small blimp in afterlife in WW from WWE. Maybe they could talk about her drug use and that type of stuff, right? But the porno stuff, I don't. If they touch on it, okay, so be it. But I just don't think it's necessary.
Right. Do you think her family is going to be involved in this?
Yeah, I can see. I guess definitely see that.
I don't know, because they did the China documentary on what was it, Vice? Yeah. And her family was in there, and her family, I think her sister or her aunt or something. Eddie's saying her sister. Yeah, I remember her sister kind of saying not so nice things about Triple H. Well,
yeah, and that's the thing is Triple H, and now he's the one that's running the company. So but I'm pretty sure that since they're going to be making this on China, I'm pretty sure that they're on, I won't say good terms, but they're on cordial terms, at least, for this to happen. But at the end of the day, I mean, she's going to see a big paycheck out of it, so of course she probably wants to do it too. You know what I mean? So,
Triple H is basically the Elliot Ness of wrestling. He knows how to get his man, or in this case, his woman.
Is he Elliot Ness or the Mountie?
The Mountie. There you go. The Mountie. He always knows how to get his man. What were the other ones? Jake Roberts, which that's interesting because he's in AEW.
Yeah, but he has a WWE Legends contract, so
Cody.
There's like action figures and stuff still being made of him. So,
well, not Cody, but Dusty, of course. Cody's going to be involved in that. Dustin, more than likely, is going to be involved in it. And what were the other ones? What were the other ones I mentioned? NWO, which that's been done to death.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you live through that, like, I mean, I don't know, like, how much you can really, you know.
All right.
Like, it's, like, all you really need to watch is if you guys know of the Legends of Wrestling Roundtable that WWE, that's some of the best programming that WWE has done. Outside, like, the documentaries and stuff, like the Legends of Wrestling Roundtable, like, just great stories, man. But anyway, they had the one when they did the NWO, and Kevin Nash was there when they were talking about Sting money. Sting money was $100,000, and basically Scott Hall was already going to WCW, and he was talking to Nash, and Nash was like, what's it looking like? He's like, over Sting money. So, yeah, man, like, you know, I'm pretty sure they're going to go through that again and, you know, talk about, it was supposed to be Sting that was supposed to be the third man. Then Hogan's going to be like, no, brother, I wanted to, you know, be the third man or whatever. So, there you go. It's, you know.
I like those roundtable shows.
It's fantastic shit.
I just remember, I like the Kevin Nash story about when he decided to sign. It was when it was the day of In Your House, and like the main event was it Bret Hart and Diesel, and Bret Hart didn't want to take the power bomb because I thought it made him look weak, and then, you know, Taker apparently got up and, you know, yelled at Bret and said, "Motherfucker, not everything's always about you." And you know, the decision was made that Bret didn't want to take the power bomb, and Vince was okay with it, and that's when, you know, Kevin went up to Scott Hall, and Scott Hall was in the shower, and he said, you know, tell Bischoff I'm in. And Scott was about to hug Kevin. Kevin's like, no, we don't need to hug. So just picture Kevin Nash telling that story. What other news can we talk about? Nick Aldis is officially a free agent.
Yep.
I mean, he's kind of like, you know, being coy about it, you know, kind of saying, you know, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but he's, again, I don't want to sound like I'm being a WWE guy too much, but he's probably gonna go to WWE, probably, more than likely. I mean, I
think he'll be more well utilized in WWE than AEW for sure.
I mean, there's the whole thing with him and Bruce Pritchard, but, you know, Triple H is in charge. And then
it'll just be it's like a big fuck you to Bruce Pritchard just for him being there. So yeah,
can you imagine that? Like, Triple H is the guy in charge, and then William Regal is the vice president, and Bruce Pritchard pretends that he's in charge of talent, and then you just have Triple H be like, "Yeah, sure you are, Brucey." You just have Nick Aldis come in and be like, you just have Nick Aldis come in and be like, "Hey, Bruce, suck my balls."
That'd be amazing.
Love it. And you just have Bruce cheering at Triple H like, "Are you gonna do something?" "No, suck his balls, Bruce."
Be amazing.
Love it. I'll pay money to see that. Not really, but I would. There's really no other news. There's been a lot of news, but not too much news. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, just kind of back to Wrestle Kingdom. Not really news per se, but just kind of what I think may happen, because Keiji Muto, Great Muta, wrestled his last New Japan match today, and I think that I have a feeling that he may show up in the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Great Muda. I think he may show up in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, cool.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that Nakamura probably maybe could have convinced him to go over to America, because he's never ever been in a WWE match, and most likely he's going to be put into the Hall of Fame no matter what. Because how can you not have a Hall of Fame without the Great Muta? Like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, right? And Triple H is very smart. Like, he'll put Great Muta in the Hall of Fame even without him not even wrestling in WWE. Like, Jushin Thunder Liger was put into the Hall of Fame. I mean, yeah, he wrestled one match, but it was just one match, but yeah, no, I mean, I think that'd be a cool sight to see, man. Have Muta come into the to the Royal Rumble, man, spit some green mist around, you know what I mean? Get a big pop, man. I think that'd be a cool moment.
Yeah, why not? That'd be good for Muta, good for WWE, good for the fans. I guess we can kind of close it off with ratings.
Yeah, sure.
Raw drew a 1.6, which is up from last week's show, which was just a recap show. They had Monday Night Football to compete with, and we just we pretty much already talked about that, and everyone knows the situation with that. God damn it! Let's see, SmackDown actually had a pretty good rating. Let's get to that. They drew a 2.6.
Yeah,
which is
I knew they were going to get to a 3.
Right, which is their biggest reaction since the 2020. Was it Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve show?
I think it was Christmas Eve.
Sorry, guys, I have a cough. NXT, I don't think the ratings have come out yet. But
let me look up Alvarez real quick. He'll have that readily available. Usually they come out Wednesday afternoons around 3 o'clock for the most part. Let me see if I have the NXT rating here. Okay, so NXT... Do we not have it? Oh, is it not out? Hold on. NXT. Oh, no NXT ratings. Okay, he didn't tweet it. Okay. That's not...
Yeah, I was trying to look them up too. Let me see if those came out. NXT ratings for 2023. For the first episode.
Speaking of the Rose, I know we were talking about, Dusty and, and Cody or whatnot, but sad news in the Rose family today. Dustin Rose tweeted that they lost their mother today, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they lost their mother today. So, saying... I'm very sad to say that I lost my mama today. She was an incredibly strong mother who was loving and resilient to her dying day. She taught me everything, and I am the man I am today because of her. I am so saddened, but so happy she's no longer in pain. Rest in heaven. So that's very, very sad. So the condolences to the Runnels family, Cody, Dustin, their sister, and anyone else who's been affected by this. So, yeah, condolences.
Yeah, that sucks. That is really terrible. Condolences to the Rhodes family, Dustin, for losing his mom. That sucks. At any age, whether you're 15 or 50, 60, losing a parent is always going to suck. It's always going to hurt. So, yeah. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that my parents are still in my life. We're all grateful if we have one of our parents still in our life, or both. So I don't mean to get too mushy. Just cherish the time that you have with your loved ones while they're still here. Yeah. I try to do that as much as I can. I guess we'll kind of transition into more happy news. So during the MJF promo with Danielson challenged MJF to a 1-hour Iron Man match for the AEW title.
Yeah, interesting. I'm with it. Man. Something different to see on AEW TV. I know people are probably gonna poo-poo and piss over it. It's gonna be an hour long. Well, I mean, you had that hour draw, right? With what was it with Omega and Danielson when they had that hour draw? It was I forgot who it was, or it was either Hangman or Danielson. I forget, but whatever match that was, it can work and they can make it work. But yeah, man, this is gonna put MJF up to the stratosphere with work rate because he's gonna have to do a fucking Iron Man match with Danielson. He's with the right guys, so we'll just have to wait and see on how they pull it off.
I mean, MJF can work. I mean, MJF is not the best worker, but he's not terrible. I mean, his whole gimmick is basically that he's a shit talker, but I think he can have good matches. He had great matches with Punk. So you can have good matches with Punk. You can certainly have good matches with Danielson. So I'm intrigued to see when this will be, whether it's going to be on Dynamite or at a pay-per-view.
At Revolution.
So when's Revolution?
That should be in March. Hold on. So AEW Revolution. Let's see here. So AEW Revolution is March 5th.
All right, so 2 months away.
Yeah.
So are they really going to wait until March 5th?
Yeah, why not? They got time to build up. They did that with Moxley and not Moxley, but MJF and Punk. They built that shit up last year to Revolution. That took 2 months to build up to. They'll be fine.
All right. I mean, hopefully it does happen at a pay-per-view because that's a pay-per-view match right there. I
mean, they'll make the pay-per-view 6 hours long, end at 4 a.m. But who's counting?
Maurice is saying Colby Corino is a free agent. Yeah, good for him.
Colby Corino is a free agent. Yeah. He announced that I believe a couple days ago on Twitter. So,
yeah, that's pretty much it for the news and all the review shows. I don't know, is there anything you wanted to bring up?
Nothing much. No, I mean, I will say just go back. If you haven't already, go out and watch that Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay match. You know what I mean? A very good professional wrestling match. And what else, man? I can't really think of anything else that's pressing today. But it's just been this week Japan because the January 4th show has been obviously that's like their WrestleMania. So other than that, I can't really think of anything. We got SmackDown on Friday, so that should be a good show. We'll see on the we'll see the after effects of the Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn losing, if Roman's going to be there or not. So we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Oh, and then next Tuesday is going to be NXT New Year's Evil on Tuesday. It's just going to be an episode of NXT, and then on February is going to be when they take it on the road for what the fuck's it called? Vengeance Day. There you go, Vengeance Day. Is it Vengeance Day?
Vengeance Day, yeah.
There you go. It's going to be in Charlotte, North Kakalaki.
Kakalaki, baby.
I don't know if you want to do New Year's Evil predictions for next week.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, so
far,
fun.
I mean, they already have 6 matches on the card already. So I mean, the card's already made already.
I was about to say that, except one is kind of to be determined.
Because Pretty Deadly has a gauntlet match, so we know Pretty Deadly is going to be in a gauntlet match. But there's going to be 3 teams to be determined, so by a process of elimination, you can kind of guess what the teams are going to be. So yeah.
So it's one of the matches. Another match is a 20-woman battle royal to determine the number 1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Vengeance Day. I read that wrong. That was a tag team championship. It's just the women's championship. So, 20 women. The women that are announced are going to be Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, Ivy Nile, Tatum Paxley, Jakara Jackson, Danny Palmer, Valentina Feroz, Cora Jade, Zoe Stark, Kiana James, Elektra Lopez, Lash Legend, Amari Miller, Sol Ruka, Wendy Chu, Indy Hartwell, Fallon Henley, Nikita Lyons, Lyra Valkyria, and Thea Hale.
I said this once and I'll say it again. Just reading those names, I mean, obviously not names like, Lash Legend, but they have a stacked division, man. Like Amari Miller, like she's the one that can do the fucking 450 from the top rope. Sol Ruka's doing that flipping, RKO. Then you got, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Tim Paxley, Ivy Nile, and Cora Jade, and you mentioned Elektra Lopez, Kiana James, like and that's not even including Tiffany Stratton, who I think may be coming back next week. But I did hear the voice on NXT last time. I was like, that doesn't even sound like Tiffany Stratton's voice. I can see her like whoever's gonna be like this person coming back. I could see them taking out one of these women and actually becoming the you know what I mean? And actually, going into that match as the person that's going to win it. So it could be Tiffany Stratton. So we'll have to wait and see.
I think it could be Gigi Dolan, just so it can be a thing of like, you beat our girl, now we're going to beat you. Maybe he can kind of have what's her name, Roxy feud with Toxic Attraction. Like, she'll have a match with Gigi, and then she can have a match with JC. Just to get her
I don't know if I'm up for that, but I see what you're saying. But I don't know if I'm up for that. I think, because it's going to have to be a heel, and they're definitely heels. They're going to have to hold off Cora Jade. I can honestly see maybe somebody like Zoe Stark, maybe Kiana James. If they want to give Elektra Lopez that position, I don't agree with it, but whatever. Or maybe somebody like an Indy Hartwell as well. So they have a lot of options to go with in this match, for sure.
What about Zoe?
Zoe Stark? Did I mention Zoe Stark?
I'm not sure if you did.
I don't know if I did, but yeah, definitely Zoe Stark. She's definitely, she's like high priority, like top tier, a possible winner for sure.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Zoe won. That can be like a tune-up.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to say a tune-up match for Roxy, but that can be like her first big match. Because,
it'll be a damn good match because they can both work.
I mean, as much shit as we want to say about Zoe as far as like her, promo skills, like she's good in the ring. Like she can still, go in there and produce. So I think Zoe would be a good first opponent, like a first big feud for Roxy. So I'm gonna go with Zoe. Next is Hank Walker versus Charlie Dempsey.
So last night on NXT, Drew Gulak is showing heel tendencies here. Good to have Charlie Dempsey here. Obviously, Regal being back, his son is going to start to get a little bit of a push on TV. I got Dempsey winning this match, and I think Drew Gulak is going to turn on Hank Walker, and or maybe Hank Walker turns evil. I don't know. That's the theme show is New Year's Evil, so I don't know, but I go with Charlie Dempsey on that one.
Yeah, it seems like they like him. He's how tall is he, by the way, if you know?
Dempsey or Walker?
Dempsey.
Dempsey, I think he's I don't know, maybe 6'6", 6'1", not incredibly tall.
I mean, he's a tall, good-looking kid, and they seem like they love him for obvious reasons. So, they're gonna push Dempsey for obvious reasons. But I mean, he's good. It's not like he's they're pushing him and he sucks or he's like subpar. He's actually very good from what I've seen. So, I like him. Next is a simple tag team match: Indus Sher, Veer Mahan and Sangha versus the Creed brothers.
I love the Creeds, but they're pushing Veer and Sangha. I know I say his name. Sangha is Sangha. Indus Sher, they were a tag team in NXT probably about like 3 years ago, something like that, 4 years ago. And they were actually with Stokely Hathaway before they broke up that tag team, so they're running them back. And you know what? I think they're pushing them, so I'll definitely give Indus the win here.
Yeah, same. I mean, again, it looks like they want to push these guys, and I like the whole, take the two big giants and push them, put them in a tag team, just have them fuck up shit. So, go with it.
And I think the Creed brothers, I mean, at this point, it's like, what do they don't need to be in, NXT anymore. I'm not saying bring them up right now, but like they're coming. They're kind of like Carmelo Hayes when it's coming. They're coming to the end of their run, and you kind of feel it. And it's like you will be so much better going up against the Street Profits or the Brawling Brutes or Imperium versus the Creeds. Like, sign me up. Like, get them to the main roster after either during WrestleMania season or after WrestleMania.
Next is another singles match: Tony D'Angelo versus Dijak.
Dijak, I love Tony D. But just right now, Dijak, he's fresh, he's new. They need to keep him strong, so Dijak.
What do you make of his new gimmick? Because I guess he's supposed to be like the Terminator, or what is he supposed to be exactly?
He's just I mean, I can't really officially tell you what it is, but like he's just really just somebody who just kicks ass and he just wants to destroy, and he wants to bring his own version of justice to NXT. I don't know, make what you will of it. It's just he's more serious now. He has a more serious, brooding look. I can't tell you what the gimmick is, though. I can tell you what the traits are, but I can't tell you what the gimmick is.
Maurice is saying, has anyone noticed that Dijak looks like Matt Cardona, but a growth spurt?
Yeah, I can see that. That's a goatee.
Yeah, Dijak's stuff. I mean, I like Dijak. I'm just the gimmick. I'm not saying I hate the gimmick. I'm trying to make heads or tails about what the gimmick is supposed to be.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see. And then the main event, NXT Championship: Braun Breaker versus Grayson Waller. Braun. I mean,
before the Dragon Lee signing, I was probably gonna go with Grayson Waller. But you gotta figure that Braun Breaker is still gonna be champion. Now, I don't know. They may shock us. You know what I mean? Because if you remember, around this time last year, Dolph Ziggler beat Braun Breaker, right? It was probably a couple more months later, but Braun Breaker, became NXT champion for the first time last year when he defeated Tommaso Ciampa. I want to say Braun. Well, I do want to say Grace Allen too, because if you looked at NXT last night, like the show ended just like with Grace Allen just getting his ass kicked by Braun Breaker, for him to get his ass kicked again by Braun Breaker at New Year's Evil. I would not be shocked if Grayson Waller wins. You know what? Fuck it. You know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm gonna go with Grayson Waller on this one. Something just tells me that he's gonna win this match. You know what I mean? But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Who cares? It's only New Year's Evil. It's not like it's not fucking WrestleMania we're predicting here.
So let's kind of go with your pick, where you said you think Grayson will win. So do you think this is their way of automatically of just fast tracking Braun to the main roster?
No, not necessarily. You can stick in. Well, you know what they could do. This is what they could do. If Braun loses, he's not gonna get a rematch against Grayson Waller. I think he'll go up to the main roster. He won't debut into the Royal Rumble. And then he will be on Raw or SmackDown, obviously, and he will get his first little feud going into WrestleMania. So, that could be like a very small feud against somebody like, Braun Breaker versus The Miz, or Braun Breaker versus Damian Priest, or, something like that, to where that Because right now, if you look at it, Dom is probably going to have a match at WrestleMania against Rey Mysterio. You got Finn Balor most likely having a match at WrestleMania against somebody, right? You know they're not going to have Finn Balor without a one-on-one match. Maybe it's against Edge one more time. I don't know. I seriously doubt it because they're supposed to have a Royal Rumble match, Hell in a Cell. They kind of need to get to going on that now because we only have a few weeks left for that. But yeah, that kind of just leaves with Damian Priest not really doing anything. You know what I mean? So maybe Braun Breaker gets on Raw and Braun Breaker versus Damian Priest. That'll be a good little first little feud for him. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm just fantasy booking.
It's kind of interesting. So, like, you kind of read my mind a little bit about Braun. So, over the weekend, I was doing the show with Monty and RJ for the Trifecta Threat. You know, it's the other show. The other show I do. I'm not the host. Where the subject came up about Bobby Lashley, about what exactly does he have planned for Mania? Because it seems like we already know what Cody's going to do. We know what Roman's going to do. We kind of know what John Cena is going to do and Logan Paul. And we were kind of going over different scenarios on what they can do with Lashley, because at the moment it just seems like he's kind of dead in the water. And I was just kind of throwing out random ideas, like what about Bobby Lashley versus Edge? What about Bobby Lashley versus, fill in the blank? And then I just kind of just spitballed. I'm like, what about Bobby Lashley versus Braun Breaker? Like that'd be a good, like Big E said, big meaty men bumping meat. That'd be a perfect match for Big E.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know if that's the first I would do, but that would be interesting. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be, opposed to that match, but, yeah, no, that will definitely be interesting for sure. I think that you should probably start off Braun in a tame feud, right? Like I said, I think him versus Damian Priest would probably be a good first feud here. But you can even do him versus, let's say, Braun Breaker versus I don't know, man. Braun Breaker versus this is not gonna happen. I'm just naming names. Gunther. Not gonna happen. Actually, I don't want that to happen. Not that early, right?
Right.
Or you can do, Braun Breaker versus, who else? Who else could we name out there that would make some sense? Braun Breaker versus Gargano. And I mean that can be okay, right? Braun Breaker versus Riddle. You know what I mean? If Riddle's in a good place, he can come back. You know what I mean?
What about Cross? Braun Breaker versus Cross.
I'll be okay with that. Yeah, I'll be okay with that. I just gotta know what kind of story they need to do to get there. Braun Breaker versus Ricochet. I'll be down for that. You know what I mean? Two styles clashing with each other. We already saw what Braun Breaker can do with Carmelo Hayes. You know what I mean? It'd be pretty much the same thing with Ricochet, just be on a bigger stage. So yeah, no, I mean there's options there for him. I think the biggest ones right now is maybe Braun versus maybe versus Lashley. Even though I'm not really in love with that there. Maybe versus Lashley. Or maybe Braun Breaker versus Bronson Reed. That'll be a damn good match there, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Braun Breaker versus Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker versus Damian Priest. Like I'll be down with either one of those two for sure.
And not for nothing, I forgot to mention during the Raw review, so they were teasing in a blink and you'll miss it. MVP with Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. So teasing the reformation of the Hurt Business, which is something that a lot of people have been, pining for the longest time. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, why the fuck not? I mean, especially under the Triple H regime. Why not? Why not bring back the Hurt Business? So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's kind of a shorter shows than what we usually do. So, did about an hour and 49. and we had a lot of news to talk about. But thank you guys for joining us for the first show of 2023. And in 2 weeks, on the 15th, will be my 5th anniversary in podcasting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break out the champagne, the fancy drinks, and we're gonna. Justin's gonna bring crack. I told him not to bring crack, but when it comes to crack and Justin, I can't get between that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's gonna happen. You know, what I mean, I'm gonna be all cracked out.
Eddie's gonna bring the porn. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. But yeah, in 2 weeks it's gonna be pretty awesome. I haven't really planned it out. I should probably plan it out. So
yeah.
Eddie, you saying I'll bring the porn and the booze. Awesome. You got a great show to go. So, Justin, go ahead and plug your stuff.
Yeah, of course you guys know where to find me. I am on Instagram, Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Big things coming this year in 2023. I actually messaged the manager of the leasing office at the mall I'm looking to have my store at, and in reference to that here, so I got some figures, so that way I kind of know what I need to prepare for in the summertime this year. So big things coming from that. SpinebusterTees.com, guys. Go ahead on there. We got the winter sale going on all winter long here. Winter 10 at checkout. Get an extra 10% off. Also, as well, another thing as well, not to people know about, is if you buy $50 or more, you get free shipping. Get free shipping, man. So a lot of great stuff on the website there. Go check it out. So check that out. We're gonna have T-shirts, action figures, pop figures, trading cards, literally anything wrestling related, man. It's gonna be an awesome thing, and appreciate you guys' support. From if you just like my tweets, not like my tweets, but like my post, or share my post, or buy a T-shirt, or whatever. I appreciate the support here. So, but yeah, very exciting time this year for myself.
Very exciting indeed. Support the homie. Support his stuff, and buy a shirt, dude. Head over to SpinebusterTees.com and buy yourself a shirt. Get some good shit. You won't be disappointed. And of course, you guys know where to find me. I'm all over social media. You can find me on Spreaker. You can find me on Google Podcasts, iTunes. You can find me on YouTube as well. And of course, Patreon is just $5 a month. And just put out a new show with RJ. We did a show on New Year's Eve, so you can look for that. Also, the Trifecta Threat, which I do with Monty as the host, Brother Monty and RJ. It's a three-way. It's pretty hot. It's very sexual. We cover a lot of very sexy topics. One of which including just the week in wrestling, and also other shit. We might incorporate more pop culture stuff like movies and TV shows. So that show usually drops every weekend on Sunday, most notably. So look out for that. And we are looking forward to everything that's going to be happening in the new year. I'm already at 600 and... not 600, Jesus Christ. I'm already at like 267 episodes. So episode 300 is creeping ever so closely. And it's going to be a big month for wrestling and this podcast. So anyways, guys, we will see y'all next year. And
next year,
Jesus Christ, next week.
Christ. We're going on a 51-week hiatus, guys.
I'm retiring. Fuck all you. No plan. We will see y'all next week, and we'll let you know when the next Q&A show is. It might be. Well, it's not going to be on. We'll probably just do one because the Rumble is going to be on a Saturday. But we'll have to talk about when we'll do the next Q&A show. So, with that being said, put in your questions, and just a reminder: the questions channel is only for questions. Please do not clog it up because it gets hard to find questions. So, probably not this week. Probably not this Saturday, Kyle. It might be either next week or the week after. So, anyways, guys. Have a good week. Stay safe, and most notably, peace out.
Peace out.